It is no secret that we can't handle war unless the governing body of the involved country gives in. However, Elon Musk, the American CEO, has come to the rescue of Ukraine. But why is this so? Watch this video until the end to know how Elon Musk will save Ukraine and his support to Ukraine against Russia. Welcome to Elon Musk Era. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our upcoming videos about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and more. There is another battle underway in Ukraine to ensure that their access to the internet is unhindered, while Ukrainians and Russians fight for command of key cities. So, NetBlocks, the Internet Traffic Monitoring Organization, reports a drop in web traffic in Ukraine, particularly in regions where Russian forces are concentrated. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are leaving the country, explaining at least part of the reduction. Thus, fewer Ukrainians can access Ukrainian internet services. However, some reports suggests that Russian forces have sabotaged Ukrainian web infrastructure. On the other hand, Elon Musk announced on Saturday, February 26th, that Starlink, his satellite internet company, will expand its services to Ukraine in response to a public request by the Ukrainian's government communications minister. So, using satellites in low Earth orbit, Starlink transmits internet access to places lacking basic internet infrastructures such as fiber optic cables or cell towers. Meanwhile, it was recently announced that SpaceX, the company that developed Starlink, had launched a new tariff plan that would increase speeds of data transfers from 150 to 500 megabits per second. A standard tariff offers speeds ranging from 50 up to 250 megabits per second. Moreover, there are therefore almost 2,000 satellites in the orbital constellation of SpaceX at present. In this way, Elon Musk's company has become the world's largest satellite operator. Despite having the biggest constellation of satellites in the world, the Starlink project is still very far from being fully operational. Despite the plan for several tens of thousands of satellites, less than 2,000 have been deployed so far. With this, Starlink is generally viewed as SpaceX's major funding source for the next few years. According to the company's estimates, it will generate $30 billion per year by 2025. Then, through Starlink, people can access the internet through satellite dishes called terminals. Additionally, Musk promised to deliver Ukrainian terminals, but he did not specify how many, when, or how these terminals would be delivered amid a ground war on 3 fronts. Even in the event of a complete Russian takeover, Ukrainians will probably not have to rely on Musk to provide them with internet access in the country. And according to Doug Mattery, director of internet analysis at network surveillance company Kentek, the physical infrastructure that supports the internet in Ukraine is extensive, owned by a variety of independent internet providers, and boasts several connections to other countries. In contrast to Cuba, which created nationwide internet blackouts when protests broke out this summer, there are no checking points on Ukraine's internet infrastructures that could be used by repressive governments to immediately cut off the internet. According to Mattery, internet censorship is not a new phenomenon in Ukraine, which makes it more complicated than in Cuba. By keeping the internet online, the Kremlin-backed government may attempt to censor the internet if Russia takes over Ukraine. Since 2017, Kiev has been censoring the internet after President Petro Poroshenko banned 4 Russian websites, including social networks VK and Odnoklassniki, as well as the email service Mail.ru and the search engine company Yandex, that are among the top 10 most popular on the internet in Ukraine, according to traffic data provided by Alexa. Meanwhile, there are over 190,000 websites that were blocked by Russia in 2020, after the law prohibiting access to websites with information that discredits the honor, dignity, and business reputation of citizens was adopted in March 2018. Federal bailiff services were granted extrajudicial blocking powers. Furthermore, Roskomnadzor blocked access to at least 6 online media outlets because of their war coverage. Nastoyashi Vremya, an online TV channel run by the Prague-based US broadcaster Radio Free Europe or Radio Liberty. Krim Really, an RFE-RL subsidiary in Crimea. The opposition media outlet, The New York Times. The student newspaper, Doxa, the Russian version of the Interfax Ukraine news agency, and the Ukrainian pro-government news site, Gordon. In an earlier notification, Roskomnadzor requested that the Russian media remove articles about the operation in Ukraine as fakes. Aside from this, At present, the website of this newspaper has also been blocked as a foreign agent by the media. Additionally, a foreign media agent and the New Times recognized that separate articles of the Interfax Ukraine and Crimea were also blocked. In response to the demand of the Ukrainian government on Sunday, Google blocked the download of the application for RT, the Russian state media company in Ukraine. In Ukraine, the RT News app is no longer available for download from Google Play following a legal request from the Ukrainian government. A spokesperson for Google said on Sunday, February 27th, "With this, RT News users in Ukraine will no longer be able to download the RT News app. Until this change is made, current users will still be able to access the app but will not receive any updates from RT." The move is similar to what Facebook took after the invasion of Ukraine, where they banned RT and other channels from receiving advertising money on their websites, apps, and YouTube videos. Bans such as these can make it difficult for normal people to access some websites, but they do not work in 100% of the cases. It is always possible for citizens and activists to avoid censorship through virtual private networks, or VPNs, and apps like Signal that use encrypted messaging protocols to execute secret communications without being detected. Also, it is being said that whether Musk's satellites are in orbit or not, the internet will always be accessible to the determined Ukrainians to get information about their circumstances and exchange news with the neighbors. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, as well as the unnecessary war it has started there with its citizens, are not just sad and heartbreaking, but also incredibly mean and wrong. The founder of Tesla has once again proven that there are good people in this world with Elon Musk's latest action. In this way, Musk is asserting indirectly that he is there to save Ukraine from Russia. This is because Fedorov, the first vice prime minister of Ukraine, previously addressed Elon Musk on Twitter. In response, the official Ukraine Twitter account asked for help in spreading the message. On his Twitter account, Elon Musk announced that the Starlink satellite internet terminals have been made available to Ukraine. In addition, the chief of SpaceX announced that additional Starlink terminals would be dispatched to Ukraine. With this, the Starlink service will help to partially solve the problem of providing satellite access to everyone. Of course, it will not be possible for everyone to access the network via satellite, but it will still be free. As for Elon Musk, the Starlink service is now operational in Ukraine, and more terminals will be added shortly. My honest opinion is that I find it hard to understand why people hate Elon Musk so much. Although I may disagree with him occasionally, it is the nature of humanity. And Elon Musk has a true concern for mankind and is ready to assist in people who need it, no matter where they are. Moreover, there are more than half of high-tech imports to Russia that will be blocked by sanctions imposed by US President Joe Biden. According to him, restrictions are being imposed on the Russian space program. As a result, they will no longer be able to modernize their armed forces. Furthermore, it will harm both their aerospace industry and the space program, the President of the United States said. Additionally, he stated that Russia would be less able to compete economically as well. Further, Biden noted that this ends up being a major setback to Russian President Vladimir Putin's long-term strategic goals. The head of Roscosmos, Dmitry Rogozin, criticized that the United States sanctioned and said that if we blocked cooperating, who could prevent ISS from falling into American territory without their help? As Rogozin points out, not only are the sanctions affecting the space industry, but they are also impacting the security of the International Space Station. He asked further if the US would like to destroy their cooperation on ISS. Moreover, he asked if this was done so the exchange between their astronaut and cosmonaut training centers is already limited. Also, he asked whether the US wants to handle the issue themselves. In Russian media, Rogozin was quoted as saying, "Maybe President Biden is not in on the subject." So explain to him at the correction of the station's orbit, its avoidance of dangerous approaches to space debris with which your talented businessmen have dirtied the near-Earth orbit is carried out exclusively by the engines of Russian Progress Mississippi cargo ships. If you block cooperation with us, who will save the ISS from an uncontrolled descent from orbit and falling into the territory of the United States core? Using the logo of his company, SpaceX Elon Musk answered all these questions very simply, and it went viral on the internet. Russia's Roscosmos had the most launches for civilian purposes from 2011 to 2016. But the tides have turned since Elon Musk's company appeared on the market. From space tourism to the possibility that SpaceX may eventually replace Roscosmos as the major space contractor. This is a fascinating prospect. ISIS itself may be rendered obsolete as well. considering that Elon Musk's company was founded in 2002, just when Moscow refused to sell 2 of its missiles to the Americans because the price was too high. It is even more impressive. That's all for this video about Elon Musk saving Ukraine from Russia, and thank you for watching. If you would like to receive updates on Elon Musk and his companies, make sure you click the subscribe and bell button.